Hiya, Cosmic Cat here. Time for our affirmations for the inner child. How's that inner child doing today? Is he or she doing all right? How are you doing today? All right, let's get this party started. Does it feel like a party to you? I am guided to first pull a card. This is different, but when Spirit asked me to do something, provided I'm able and it's safe, I'm gonna probably pretty much do it, and we just did. This is also probably happening to let you know to also do the same thing whenever spirit or your own intuition comes in to view and would like for you to do something that maybe you weren't planning to do yet. And again, this typically I read first and then I start pulling cards. So it's not that, it's not a drastic. You use your best judgment on what it is that and also make sure that it's not the ego. There's a difference from your inner voice, your inner knowing, intuition, higher power, and wisdom within yourself versus the fear-based ego that may want to keep you comfortable, but that doesn't make it safe, okay? All right, and we have the hedge witch, the one that hides in the hedges, only comes out like very, very clever, comes out at night, very not nocturnal, knows how to hide, and witchy vibes. Already feeling the birthday reading here, so if you feel so inclined, do so. If not, that's okay too. Let's see what it is that Spirit has for you in reference to October 27th. Okay, it is about addictions, really deep, heavy one. Today, I choose to love myself more. Say that with me. Today, I choose to love myself more. Tonight, I feel the shame that I always feel when I have given in to addictive behavior. The lack of unconditional love in my dysfunctional family created an aching void inside me. Because I did not know how to feel this void in a healthy way, I covered my pain with self-destructive behavior. Although I'm not responsible for the forces that have brought me to this place, I am responsible for what I do with my life from now on. I know that my addictions rob me of the self-esteem that is the foundation of my journey toward wholeness. Today, I will reaffirm my commitment to fill my life with only life-giving activities. If faced with the choice of overindulgence, overwork, or overdependency, I will first ask myself, will I love myself more or less if I engage in this activity? I'm going to repeat that last one again. If faced with the choice of overindulgence, overwork, or overdependency, I will first ask myself, will I love myself more or less if I engage in this activity? Today, I choose to love myself more. Loving yourself more, having a safe, solid self-esteem, carrying confidence and courage within yourself, not having the self-destructive behavior that perhaps you were taught growing up, that you've held with you and maybe never even knew until now or recently, but releasing that shame that not only is very much common in families, in all families, there's guilt and shame somewhere, um, at some point in time. In other families, it's there all the time, every day, 24/7. Learning this and knowing the difference, because there's also something in this society, and I can't really speak outside in other countries, but in the US, it's definitely this culture of based on um on fear and guilt and shame in so many ways. And there's this structured sense of like the programs that we're taught to live with day to day to day to day to day. Um, it can be overwhelming. So your foundation is connecting. Yeah, part of your path is definitely connecting to your inner self, your inner child, your higher self. You're going within for introspection. Being that you've struggled with addiction, that you've overcome addiction, this is huge. Honor yourself for that. And the fact that you understood that you had the addictive behavior, this is actually speaking some volumes in reference to my own awakening when I am a recovered alcoholic, and I would never even admitted that I was an alcoholic in my entire life. Um, Even though in the back of my mind I felt it. Like I didn't, because if you compare your drinking to others drinking who are in recovery, then it could be easy for you to sway like, oh, well, I don't, it's not the first thing I think of when I wake up. I don't ever do it this time, or I don't want to do it that time. But, there's reasons as to why we choose addictions. And typically it's because there is a void, there's an emptiness inside of us that we want to fill, and then we fill it with something that completely disconnects us even more from ourselves, from the world. But on the surface level and out on the outside, it looks fine. Like if you grew up in an addictive environment with your family, then you would see how, like, on the outside, to most, it seemed just a normal family. Whereas, behind closed doors in the home, it was very much different. And when you learn this, it, I mean, we learn how to engage with the world and communicate by the time we're 8, 9 years old. We already understand through our guardians, through those who raise us, who were around that are there to teach us because we're so observant of them. We also look up to them. They are our mentors and they guide us. Whether they know it or not, whether we know it or not, it's just the way that it happens. It is what it is. But the self destructive behavior comes in, the pain, that emptiness. And now that you're able to break free from the addiction, so this happen what happens is like oftentimes you have this awakening and you have this clarity come in for your addiction and you want to quit and you're working to quit. And then all of a sudden there's once you are over that feeling of giving in to the addictive behavior, it comes, but then you don't bite. You're not going to fall for it this time. So you don't fall for that addictive behavior then. But what starts to happen is the more awareness that starts to come into your life because you drop the self-destruction. You're no longer basically trying to kill yourself slowly with addictions, with filling up the void that's in your body with something that's not going to really fill it up. There's space. You have this space inside of you. And once you're ready, Spirit guides you into this path of starting to understand who you were before. Because see, when you're stuck in the addiction, you're not who you are. You're not your authentic self. So the person that you genuinely or truly were, or who you were before the addiction isn't really there. like that happy. I'm sure you've experienced this or heard about this before, or even seen it in your life around you, where someone just completely transforms their life by losing the addiction. What happens is there's these stepping stones that you go through. So then you start to understand the shame, the guilt, and this is where this comes in. So you may not immediately feel this shame, this guilt about your behavior before when you were addictive, but then it's going to come in, and a lot of times this comes as another stepping stone for you to learn something from, okay? It's not it's another stepping stone of releasing the guilt and shame that you've carried your entire life. It's another stepping stone of taking accountability for your actions, understanding why you've done what you've done, said what you said, are who you are. There's also a sense of knowing if you've been betrayed, how to is it worth is it worth approaching, or is it best to simply not give your energy to that? It's completely up to you in that area. Having commitment, being committed to yourself, committed to your inner child. Yeah, having wholeness. Mm. So your foundation of your journey toward wholeness. And look at that. It's almost like this is saying you're going to be coming out. You're on the edge of society as the hedge witch. You know, in this energy, you love your solitude, and you know that whatever defines spaces protects them at the same time, just like hedges mark off borders and are usually home to small animals living in their branches. So, part of your message is to understand the importance of personal space, cultivate it with joy, and keeping your distance from the objects of life to be able to observe them better and give yourself the right space to flourish. This is you being in your own power regarding your own addictions, your self destructive behaviors, your honesty, your raw, complete, honest truth that you're giving yourself. It's sacred to you, and it's meant to be for you. Mm-hmm. Not Don't be swayed by anyone else, and it's not necessary to share this with anyone else, Spirit says. If you feel so inclined to share your energy with someone else, make sure they're trustworthy, and they really genuinely care about you, because it is really it can be a slippery slope when you feel you can trust others with information and you share it out of compassion and love, only to be betrayed or stabbed in the back. So that's very that's something that you don't want to get into. That can happen with the shame that you're experiencing. Okay, we're going to leave it at 2 for now. We might pull another one. Let's see what we have. Oh, yes. Yeah, phenomenal. Your solitude is important for you, and at the same time, so is your family. This may not be your family that you grew up with. It may be. Perhaps you have healed. All of you have worked together to heal the wounds from the past. I would love for you to share, even if you drop a heart emoji, all 7 of the chakras here, please, something to share. Would love to hear some joyful, happy results that come through adversity. because that's something that's not easy to do. And with so many people pleasers in the world, it's difficult for many to really be able to step back and see and even ask themselves who they are, who are they individually? How loyal am I to myself? That's what Spirit's asking you. Write that down. How loyal am I to myself? Then, how loyal am I to others? This shows you have a very loyal and loving family. You're aligned. It's not by chance that we also have the chakras aligned here with you. And today, the moon is in Capricorn, and Capricorn oversees the backbone. So having a backbone, and that must have been why I brought up people pleasing. Thank you, Spirit, for affirming that. Because if you are a people pleaser, your backbone's quite weak. Here, you change and transform this. Not only do you know first to go within and love yourself, have that compassion, strength, courage, discernment is very important. But this is you admiring all that you have helped create and build in the world. Your family, your friend, and your family doesn't have to be blood related. It could be your soul tribe. It could be your work community or volunteer community. Maybe it's in the community of your home where you live. You have a very loyal companion dog here by your side. So you have a pet that loves you, and you're just sitting here admiring, very much full of love, and all of your chakras are balanced at that time as well. Moving away from the mentality of lack, moving away from that shame behavior and stepping into this energy. Look at how these are both pentacle cards, okay? They're both, this is 10 of bears, which is 10 of pentacles. This is 5 of bears, which is 5 of pentacles. You are absolutely changing and transforming. Look at that. I said you're changing and transforming, and look what we have here. The butterfly, which is all about transformation, rebirthing. And it's not easy for a butterfly to come out of its cocoon, by the way. So it's chrysalis. All of the different transformations that a butterfly must incur in order to make it out into the world. There's a lot that goes into it. And here we have the butterfly and snowdrop. There is hope. Definitely hope. You're on the right path. Let's see what we've got. So we've got, yeah, you're on the right path to being committed to yourself and filling your life with life-giving activities that are going to boost your self-esteem, your foundation. Allow yourself to feel anything you feel by looking at these cards, okay? How are these cards relating to you? What did you feel by seeing these cards? Let me hold. I didn't get to hold this one up for you yet. Let's hold this one up. Very sleepy, tired. And I just received another message that if you get tired faster than usual, that's normal and it's okay. So please listen to your body and rest. When you are working on yourself, when you're working with yourself, when you're getting to know yourself, developing your own sense of self, it's imperative that you listen to your body when you need rest, and at all costs do so. especially for some of you under the full moon. You must rest. Full moon is always about letting go. So you've been doing some major full moon ceremonies, or you will do one or two before the year ends. You got a couple more chances to do a full moon ceremony, purging, letting go, so that you can release anything in the way that is around your energy field, in your heart space, in your mind, so that you can get to this 10 of Pentacles, absolute joy and love, looking out at what you have helped build for yourself, what your self-esteem created by you building your self-esteem and raising your own confidence, looking around you at all the beauty you have, this bright, beautiful, powerful sun, super creative. You also have fire and passion, and look at all the smiles just facing back at you. Transformation. The butterfly's all about hope. A period of hardship is coming to a close. Yay! Better days are ahead. Take heart in signs of the coming thaw. You're thawing out from winter. This is speaking to many of you in the southern hemisphere, but it's not leaving the northern hemisphere out, as that is where I am at this time, and that's where this message is coming from. Everyone is included in this. So ask yourself, what gives you hope in times of scarcity? What gives you hope in times of scarcity? This card is all about scarcity. So ask yourself, what gives you hope in this time? And then lean into that. Release. I'm being asked to share a message that happened in the birthday reading, and it's about releasing any mindset releasing and letting go of a mindset that isn't serving you, of something that maybe if you've made a mistake in the past, or you were betrayed in the past, and you continually go over that in your mind, you're being asked to let that go. Otherwise, hence, you create more. So if you will create more negativity in your life, in your body, in your mind, if you hold on to it. So allow that release to come, and allow this hope space to enter. Remember, you got to let go in order to create space for new hope to come in. That's the message for you today. Have a cosmic day and tonight, meow.